What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dean, aka the Blue Crusader, and I'm going to show you another mod that I've been making recently on Minecraft. And in this video, this mod is called the Swamp Rework. This mod adds brand new content in the form of mobs, upgrades to the pre-existing swamp biome, and much more to the swamps in Minecraft. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So as you can see, we're in the standard swamp biome now on Minecraft, and I'm going to show you some of the new features in the swamp rework that improve the vanilla swamps, because a lot of people have been wanting upgrades and updates to Minecraft swamps for quite some time now. So as you can see, we have a selection of a few different mobs here on our toolbar. So I'm going to show you the mobs first, and then we're going to momentarily move on to the structures. So the first mob which I want to show you is the Dragonfly. So as you can see, these guys will spawn in swamps and kind of just buzz around and fly around in swamps. These are flying mobs and they're completely passive. One thing to note is that all of the mobs inside this mod will spawn in the swamp and also the swamp hills biome, which is a little bit more rarer to see. So these guys come in one colour, which is blue and white striped, and they have transparent wings, and they just fly all around the swamps and add a little bit more immersion, because there's not really many bugs in the swamps on Minecraft, which is something that I realised recently. And then next up is the alligator. So another thing which is definitely missing from Minecraft is the presence of crocodiles or alligators. So as you can see, the musky dark green swamp waters don't really have much in them to be afraid or scared of, apart from sometimes you might see the occasional witch hut. Well, now with the mod you'll also be able to see crocodiles. Now these guys kind of notoriously float above the water, and they can swim, and they can also move on land. So you'll see that these crocodiles not only will sometimes spawn or be submersed in the water, they'll also come out of the water and also attack the player on land. So as you can see right now, I am actually in creative mode. So if we just jump in survival mode, you can see that these crocodiles, these alligators, are actually hostile. So this guy will come straight out of the water to attack me and will actually chase the player on 4 legs. Now they don't actually do that much damage. As you can see, they only hit for 2 hearts when you have no armor, so they're not too powerful, but they can definitely be quite aggressive if you find these guys early game. Now one thing to note though is they're not actually that fast. They do a fair bit of damage for a new player, but they're not actually that fast, so they won't be able to keep up with you if you do sprint away. So that kind of adds a little bit of a balance to make them less overpowered. So another thing which Minecraft has definitely been missing in swamp biomes is frogs. You'd expect there to be frogs in swamps if you went into a swamp in real life or some kind of river biome. Well, we do actually have frogs now in Minecraft with this mod. As you can see, the frogs do originally use the rabbit model, and I edited the rabbit model to make it more like a frog, and as you can see, you can now see frogs in Minecraft. Now at the current moment they don't actually jump, they just kind of move around on all 4s, but at some point I will try and make them jump around. But you can now find frogs just randomly just spawning immersively in the world, which is pretty cool. Now one thing I do plan to add in the next update to this mod is add some frog sounds, so we can have like croaking and just ambient sounds so the frogs actually make some noise, because currently they are silent, but they definitely do make the swamps a little bit more interesting. This is one thing which I was really aiming to do with this mod, just add more creatures to make the swamps a little bit more flossed out, because there's not really too much in this biome in vanilla. Okay, so next up is a little bit of variation. Not only did I really want some other types of mobs, like water mobs and reptiles, I also wanted to add some birds, and one of the most popular wildlife animals which you tend to see near a river or a swamp is the heron. So the heron is basically a really tall bird that you'll find in many parts of the UK, for an example, and I decided to add the herons to Minecraft to make swamps a little bit more interesting. So as you can see, these guys do hang around the swamps and they walk on their 2 legs. And what they will do is they'll just basically spawn near lakes and near swamps, and you'll kind of see them in the distance, but they're a little bit more rarer to spawn, because occasionally you might see the odd 1 or 2 herons if you go in a real swamp. So they're not going to spawn too high in numbers, but they definitely do decorate the area and make it better. So the next one is the swamp troll. So I think this is probably the most interesting of the mobs which I've created, and this is basically a really tall, aggressive mob which you can find that might spawn inside the swamp. Now, this is based off the original Iron Golem. I wanted to create something that was really tall, big and strong and kind of a little bit of a challenge. So I based this off of the Iron Golem. So as you can see, it does use illager sound effects, and he has an absolutely massive club, and you can find him just wandering around the swamps. So he can walk around, and you'll occasionally find him. Obviously, a lot of people want Shrek in Minecraft, but Shrek is copyrighted, and also it would make no sense to find Shrek. But the next best thing than seeing an ogre or seeing Shrek is seeing a swamp troll in Minecraft. So you can see I've made this swamp troll. If we go into survival mode just to test, he does actually walk fairly slowly, but he has this absolutely massive club which he has in his hands. So it's definitely not the best idea to allow him to catch up to you. But I wanted to make something which kind of fit in with how Minecraft's enemy mobs look like. But although the villagers have iron golems, there's not really anything like an iron golem for illagers, and there's not really a hostile iron golem in the game. Obviously, illagers do have the ravagers, but this is the next best thing, and these guys will spawn in swamps, and they'll do an absolute ton of damage to you. So if I just eat some golden apples, just to get my health back in survival mode, let's just go quickly to full health, and let's just show you how much damage these guys do. So as you can see, this is a normal swamp troll, and this is just me as a normal player. We do have some abilities here though, like absorption, but you can see, as he knocks us up, he does 1.5 hearts of damage every single time. So if we didn't have the golden apple effect on, he would do quite a lot of damage, okay? And if we just let him hit us normally, you can see he does knock us up, so he also has the knock-up ability like an Iron Golem. And not only that, but knocking him back, you can knock him back, but he has a little bit of knockback resistance too, so it's a little bit harder to knock him back really far away, like a lot of the enemies in Minecraft. But this guy's pretty strong. You'll just find him randomly in swamp biomes, and he'll be naturally aggressive, but you don't have to worry because you won't really find this guy wandering around too much, so it's not going to be too dangerous. So for an example, if you do spawn in a swamp biome in a brand new world, these guys aren't just going to one-shot you, but they might cause a little bit of a problem, especially when you're trying to build your house. Now, the next mob which I want to show you is a mob which does actually spawn in the water, because not only did I want some mobs on the above ground, I also wanted some mobs that spawn in the water. Now, you can ignore the buildings which are all around us for a moment, because I am going to explain those after. But as you can see, we see a few fish here which are glowing, and they're outlined in this strange white outline, and you're probably wondering what those are. Well, let me go inside the water and show you what these fish are with these strange particles. These are actually anglerfish. So these guys will spawn underwater, and they'll just swim around, and you'll be able to see them with this glowing effect around them from the headlight on the front. And these are basically deep water fish that you can find in a very deep ocean, in the deepest depths of the ocean, and also sometimes in swamps. Anglerfish are fishes that swim at extremely high pressures in a very deep open space underwater. So you might know about these fish, and I decided to add them to Minecraft into the Minecraft Swamp Biomes because I thought it'd be super interesting. Now, these guys are quite common. You're not going to see hundreds of them, but when you step in a swamp, you will actually see them from a distance away glowing. So if you're looking for anglerfish, you'll be able to see them by this distinctive glow that they have, and also these strange particle effects which actually get emitted off them as well. Now, the last thing which is part of this mod which I have to show you is there's a brand new structure, and there's also a brand new mob, okay? So there's these buildings. These buildings are called witch coven huts. So in normal Minecraft, we have the witch huts, which are really basic. They don't really look too great, but they just have a normal witching. But these are called the witch coven huts. I've added something to the game which is exclusive to swamps called witch covens. And basically a witch coven is kind of like a witch clan or a group or a guild of witches, and they basically all work together. Well, I've added these huts as their headquarters, if you like. I got this structure to spawn in the swamps. So if we swim around in the swamps, you'll see you can sometimes find these structures spawning. Now, I have adjusted the spawning height of the structure. So when this is an old world, which I'm showing you the mod on. So when you generate a new world, these structures won't spawn in the water. They'll spawn above the water or on land. So you don't have to worry about these structures spawning really low in the water. This is just the test map, which I'm showing you this on right now. And also, these are going to be a lot rarer. You're not going to see hundreds of them scattered around in the water like this when you actually play the mod. So now that's cleared up, let's go inside. So we have 2 spruce doors, and we can go inside, and usually there would be a selection of different things in here. So like I said, this would not be underwater, so you wouldn't have to worry about the water. It would just be in the water above the swamp. So we'd have a library with an enchanting shelf. We'd have various things like a grindstone, And we'd have a few different things you'd expect witches to have, like plant pots, different apothecary ingredients, barrels, a brewing stand with some potion materials, a lectern, another brewing stand, and various other equipment and materials which you might find useful to collect, or blocks which you might find useful to craft things. So this is pretty cool. But let me show you the mobs which actually spawn inside here. So now we're on a brand new map. You'll see that this is how the witch hut will actually spawn in the mod at its current state. You'll see that the witch hut will spawn sometimes with trees inside of it, but it will spawn naturally inside the water, slightly submerged, but the actual interior blocks won't be flooded or underwater. So if we go inside this witch hut, this is a natural witch coven hut which has spawned. You'll see inside we have all of these different blocks which I've just shown you, but everything just looks normal. But you may have noticed that we can hear some croaking of some of these witches because we have 3 different witches, but we also have a 4th witch, which is this brand new type, which has these strange short arms. So if we just hit this witch, you can see this is a different coloured witch. So this witch has a brown hat and a green cloak, and also a different coloured nose, which distinguishes it from the normal Minecraft vanilla witches. And these are the new mobs which I've added to the swamp mod. This is a new type of witch which is called the witch coven mistress, and basically these are the leaders of these witch covens or witch clans that spawn in these huts around the swamp biome. So if I just equip myself with some really tough materials and just show you how to fight these witches, we're going to have a little bit of a battle versus these witches, and I'm going to show you how powerful they really are. So let's just get some netherite stuff, because this is obviously the best stuff on Minecraft and I don't want to die while this happens. So we'll equip our netherite so we've got a bit of basic protection, and we are going to fight these witches. So let's jump into survival mode. So let's just quickly kill these normal witches, okay? Because normal witches are fairly hard to kill, but they're a lot easier than the new witch. And as you can see, this is the brand new witch. She's taken damage because she's attacked herself with her own potion. But let's continue to just take these golden apples so we have a little bit of protection. And the other witch is outside, so let's just slay this 3rd and final witch. Okay, and as you can see, that witch dropped absolutely tons of decent ingredients, actually. Let's go back inside. So this is the brand new witch that you can see inside. And you can see she performs exactly the same as normal witch, so she can throw poison potions at you. But when you attack her, she has a few different abilities also. Now, these abilities have a really small chance when you hurt her for her to activate them. So if we just keep punching her, I'll try and show you a few of these abilities which she actually has. Now, I want to use an open fist so she doesn't take too much damage. Now, you'll see behind her, she's actually spawned some zombies. So one of her abilities is she can actually spawn a set of zombies, and she'll usually only spawn 2. Now, you can see the zombies she's spawned is 1 baby zombie and 1 normal zombie. But she can also spawn these vexers when she takes damage too. And since she's already poisoned herself, she's basically going to repeatedly take damage. So she's going to repeatedly summon enemies while she's taking damage, because she only does these abilities when she gets hurt. So now we have to try and kill her as quick as possible. And you can see she's already summoned a brand new group of zombies to protect herself. Now, the reason why this is a really tough mob is because she obviously can heal herself, because she functions exactly like a witch with potions. So let me just kill these last vexers which have spawned, because she can obviously summon 4 vexers to fight for her. And now that I've killed these vexers, or at least I think I've killed them all, we can see that she's dropped some loot on the floor. So I've already picked up some redstone dust and nether warts, so let's pick up the rest of the loot, okay? So as you can see, she has a chance to drop 1 of basically every kind of brewing ingredient on Minecraft. So she's dropped nether wart, redstone dust, gas tears, blaze rods and blaze powder, fermented spider eyes, a random potion, which is the uncraftable potion, which is actually a secret item in Minecraft, okay? And that doesn't really do anything, it's just a test potion that you can drink from. So she has the chance to drop a random type of potion, magma cream, 1 golden carrot and a pufferfish. So she doesn't always drop this exact same loot. She has a chance to drop a few different sets of loot types, but we got lucky and we actually got the good loot from that fight, and you can see she gives you some pretty good stuff. So if you have good enough armor or food and healing items and you fight this witch witch coven and this witch mob at a very early point in Minecraft when you just want to start brewing, you're going to get some pretty good ingredients to basically get a kickstart with doing that. And not only that, but if we go back inside this structure, I'm going to show you just why it's really good, especially if you discover this early. Now, you saw the witch was pretty tanky and hard to kill, so it might be a challenge, which is a good thing, but you'll see inside here there's some pretty good materials for actually to gather. I mean, we have more nether warts over here, which are actually inside here. We have storage in the barrels if we just want to take this as a base for ourselves, and we have a brewing stand that we can basically just start brewing potions with over here with these new materials that we've got. So you can actually start brewing here pretty early. Over here we have a few things like pumpkins and melons, and we also have an enchanting table with a library around it to actually enchant things. So providing you have lapis lazuli or some kind of enchanting book, you can actually start enchanting here too. And not only that, but we actually have a wither head here too, so you can take wither skeleton skulls from these witch coven huts, and then you can summon the wither in the nether. So there's some really great materials here that are not too overpowered, but they're really good at starting the early game in Minecraft. So this has been the Swamp Rework mod for Minecraft, and these are all the features, all of the mobs, the structures, and all of the content added in this mod. If you want to try this mod out for yourself, you can support the channel now on the link below on Patreon, and anyone who supports the channel as a bonus gets access to this mod, all of my past and future mods and the updates, and soon you'll be able to play on the official Minecraft server for this YouTube channel over there too. So if you do want to try out this mod, make sure to go over there and check that out. And if you want to support the channel, then you can also check out the mod too. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, and leave any suggestions if you have any more swamp ideas that you want me to add to this mod, and any cool features you want in the Minecraft Swamp Biome. Subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on more Minecraft videos, mod videos just like this one, and follow me at thebluecrusader on Instagram for some more updates too. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.